And so, in conclusion, Newfoundland had to be destroyed by fire. Oh, hello everyone. I'm very impressed you survived so far. It's been a jolly good plague. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy the upcoming cerebral parasites even more. I worked very hard on them, so I expect the highest praise. A final reminder that when you start hearing the tinnitus, it means the parasites have burrowed into your brains. The fun shall commence in earnest shortly thereafter. But let's not dwell on your inescapable dooms. Today is the Colonel Alistair Winterbottom meeting for discussions of morality and social concern, Internet Edition, Episode Theta. As chairman, I motion we entitle today's meeting Hell is Real and It's All Your Fault. Incomplete clone of myself, would you care to second this motion? Thank you, incomplete clone. Now, it has recently come to my attention that the standard internet troll has been supplanted, in a Darwinian manner, by a new species, the internet demon. Having wiped out the trolls, these demons are choking the arteries of social media with their fiendish babbling. Enough! Say I, the internet, as all good folks know, is meant for only decent and considerate individuals such as myself and my incomplete clone. Isn't that right, incomplete clone? Quite. What's that? Curious where it came from, are you? Let it be said that a public school education is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural, but staying on target, in the interest of general goodness, I shall vanquish these demons via the oldest and most dependable method of slaughter. Logical debate. Behold.
No, I don't get where all these Nazis came from. I think Asmodeus left a window open or something.
On guard, despicable one. Your time is at hand.
Huh?
Curse and spit your sulphur all you like. I shall show thee no mercy. Consider. You claim souls for hell and say that souls that are evil must go to hell for punishment, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
But evil smells foul like rotting meat, does it not?
Well, I don't know.
However, the stinkhorn mushroom also smells like rotting meat. Have you thought of this?
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess.
Thus, demons may just as likely condemn stinkhorn mushrooms to hell. Do you really expect us to believe that mushrooms are like souls?
What? Well, hey, that doesn't, I mean, I don't think...
Logic! So, inescapably, because souls smell like mushrooms, your system is nonsense, and all souls should go to heaven. You're defeated. I abjure thee.
I think that the system is, it's more complex and subtle than
I
that.
abjure thee!
Abjure what? Ah!
Victory again, you may applaud. Thank you. Now, having served you this precious and socially important service, I expect you all to donate the leadership of your various countries to my Patreon account. You may find the link. I say.
Hello. Well, I just wanted to chime in here for a second.
Who may you be?
Once I used to be an internet demon. But now I'm reformed. I feel so much better just being a troll again. I'm back to writing you suck on videos instead of, I don't know, compromise is boring, let's just murder everybody.
Well, that all sounds quite decent, I suppose. Congratulations are in order.
However, I did want to take this opportunity to voice my own thoughts on your videos.
What?
As a former internet demon, I can recognize the signs of demonic development. And let me tell you, you are smeared with them. But don't worry, there are a few things you can do to turn those trends around.
I protest. There's nothing demonic about me whatsoever. Well, not since Mother stole all my rock albums, but
First off, you can take off that hat. Internet demons get the horns developing, and they use hats to hide that fact. You could wear a headband, some nice little Rambo number. You could use primary colors. Yes, some reds and yellows. Oh, that would be fantastic. Much better than the whites and blacks you're using now. They don't really pop on the preview screens.
The hat stays.
It's just my advice, of course, but...
Now, look here. I fought Prime Minister Disraeli to the death for this hat, and as long as this charred and broken corpse still decomposes on the roof of number 10 Downing Street, this hat shall never leave my head.
Well, I just think people are sort of wondering what's under there.
A lifetime of broken dreams? Possibly bits of Disraeli? I really haven't checked it. Wait, is this concern trolling?
Well, I am certainly concerned, yes, and I am certainly a troll. I don't know if I'd use that term. Perhaps a troll with concerns. The concerns of a troll. How many concerns have a troll? A literary question in 7 chapters. Just spitballing here. Not married to any of this.
If I were you, I'd be concerned about different matters. I'd suggest some to you, if you are concerned.
I am concerned.
Your concern is noted. My recommendation for your concern is that you be concerned about the very concerning incoming abjuration.
Oh, well, I'm not sure why I should be concerned about that.
You'll allow me to elucidate further. I abjure thee!
Yes. Fair point.
Lovely hat. I'll never take you off. For health reasons, my veins have grown into the material. What the blazes? Oh, it's you.
Noble and judicious man, I, on behalf of heaven, do salute thine efforts.
Yes, quite.
I, the Grim Reaper, the Angel of Death, do now welcome thee into the halls of eternal goodness and delight.
Good of you to pop down. I know you're busy.
Rejoice and be of good spirit. Sing forever the praises of...
Now, just a minute. This is all starting to sound suspiciously like you're accusing me of taking a side.
Well, I thought...
None shall accuse Winterbottom of favoritism. I am my own man. I take no sides.
You don't take sides against hell?
Smugness. Unforgivable. I suppose you angels think you're better than us, eh?
Well, I mean,
Consider. Angels are more powerful than man, yes?
In certain respects, I do...
But 10 of you can dance on the head of a nail.
Wait, what are your sources?
Man can hammer a nail, which means he can hammer 10 of you at once. Man wins.
Blaspheming mortal, I shall cast thee down to hell!
You mean the place with all the stinkhole mushrooms? Oh, no, thank you.
Mushrooms? What mushrooms?
Time's up. I declare myself the winner by popular vote and condemn you to be abjured.
Oh, you uppity little mud monkey!
And so, I have destroyed death. I'm sure that comes as a relief to some of you. To celebrate my victory, I propose an end to lockdown and... Oh, rotten luck. Judging from your confused looks, the tinnitus has begun and the parasites are consuming your frontal lobes. This might make your recently gained immortality somewhat troublesome. I suggest then you take courage from my incomplete clone who's in the last stages of parasitism. He's actually doing awful, never mind. Well, at least I'm smarter than all of you, so there's that. Isn't that nice? I think it's nice.
Good afternoon and welcome to Colonel Alistair Winterbottom's Meetings for Discussions of Morality and Social Concern Internet Edition, Episode 18. While we wait for our regular cadre of talkback friends to join this live stream, I shall go over the minutes from our last meeting. It was decided that Operation Little Barky Dog Death shall not proceed. As chairman, I repeat my disappointment at this decision. Oh, welcome back, massive donkey monster donkey penis 78, our resident hooligan. I see once again you claim my penis is small. Well done, massive donkey. That's the 80th time you've posted that entirely unfounded claim. And mute. Which brings us rather conveniently to the subject of today's meeting. As chairman, I move we entitle this meeting My Horrific Vengeance Upon You All. Will anyone second this motion? Thank you, Colonel. Now, my horrific vengeance upon you all. As some, if not all of you know, the last 17 sessions of my meetings have been attended by a gaggle of vituperative electronic ghosts, all of whom are obsessed with proving that I have a very small bit of male genitalia. Once again, I must emphasize that none of you have the slightest shred of evidence that this bloody mute button isn't worth what I paid for. And sorry to disappoint you, Purple Petal Vagina 256, that is not a picture of my penis. In fact, on closer inspection, I suspect it to be the penis of a small barnyard animal, such as a pig or a duck. Where do you find these things? In your mum. My mother was a saint who shall rain holy fire down the lot of you. I don't know what a golden shower is, and I don't see how that impacts our discussion. What impacts our discussion is this. Yes, cower. Cower and pray, you lonely, pale little wretches. You must No, it is not gay. It is in fact the legendary monkey's paw, a product of the mysterious East. It is capable of granting precisely 3 wishes, which is why you should all be cowering. If I do not receive heartfelt apologies from the lot of you, I shall... Oh yes, Massive Donkey, I believe I should like to donate some money to this poor Nigerian prince. Give me a moment while I input my bank details. And there. I just used your money to buy a whore. Damn your cunning Massive Donkey. The whore is also your mum. Right, we're starting with you, Massive Donkey. I suppose your moniker, Massive Donkey, is some sort of metaphorical euphemism for the size of your penis. Well, Massive Donkey, let me address this to the magical monkey's paw. Monkey's paw, I wish that you make the penis of Massive Donkey a massive donkey. Ha ha ha, you say? Oh my god, it's a massive donkey. It's, oh god, all the blood, it's riding away outside the house. Oh god, no, zip dee 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 dee. I suppose that means your precious computer terminal has flipped onto the floor in the midst of your material and spiritual ruin. Behold, Internet, the full fury of my wrath. I hope you'll be more considerate. No. Fake. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. It is not. And that is a picture of Orson Welles buggering the Queen. Well, that has made me terribly cross, you light-filled lackeys. The bloody Queen! I suppose you let Cromwell tickle your ladies, don't you? What is this world made of? It's made of poop. We like to poop. Here's some poop. Oh, God. We'll let the monkey's paw handle this. Monkey's paw. I wish that all who disobey the Queen shall have corgis eat out their eyes. And I wish to see a live stream of it happening to Pocket Lizard 51, and that counts as one wish. Yes, not so funny now the shoe's on the other foot, is it, Pocket Lizard? Oh, calm down, everyone. Everyone in America is being eaten by little dogs that look like fairy sausages. Help, help us, help. Oh no, they're here. No, sad face, sad face, sad face. Well, God bless Kansas 8793, that's hardly my fault, is it? Rather the fault of your rebellious forefathers. You can lay that square in the lap of Mr. George Washington, bucktooth reprobate. Oh, who's this then? UN Council. Oh, hello, UN Council. Crimes against humanity. Oh yes, very important. I committed crimes against humanity? What? When? I was here the entire time. I don't remember a thing of it. Countermeasures have been enacted. 2 minutes till strike force arrives. Sincere apologies to Southern England. May God have mercy on all of us. Bit obscure even for online humor, I'd say. P.S. Your mother ate King John Yu's poop. Here's a pic. Oh! Oh! That is the limit! Right then, Internet! That is the limit! This is why you cannot have nice things, you bounders! Yes, I admit that looks like my mother. Monkey's paw! I've had enough! I wish for all silly buggers, to turn into crabs! Crabs who would like to masturbate, but they can't because they're crabs, so there! Africa's a continent. No, it's a country. Continent. Country. No, I'm afraid it's a country. I trust my sources far more than whomever you may be, Mr. Mandela. It's mute for you, my lad. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Colonel Alistair Winterbottom's Meetings for Discussions of Morality and Social Concern Internet Edition, Episode 19. Firstly, a note on our last meeting. As chairman, I wish to thank the mysterious Hounds of God for their timely intervention in what shall henceforth be known as my brief but enlightening adventures as a crab. Happily, I'm restored to my proper and eminently delightful human form. Sadly, the same cannot be said of the southern coast of England, or roughly 45% of the citizens of America. We shall hold a brief moment of silence in memoriam. That's enough of that. You killed them all, you and that monkey's paw. Oh my god, everyone's dead. As the internet is fond of saying, Big Third Leg 54 picks, or it didn't happen. Now, as chairman, I move that we entitle this latest addition to our discussions, All Hallows Eve, the Thrashing of Satan. Will anyone second this motion? Thank you, Colonel. Now, as we all know, All Hallows Eve, or Halloween, as the impatient among you call it, is nearly upon us. My own term for Halloween is the Little Children Damnation Factory. Yes, that's right. Every time you sugar-lusting babes rush out dressed as your favorite characters from Japan, you are unwittingly handing over your souls to the Dark Lord himself, N.E. Lucifer, N.E. the Morning Star, N.E. the large-horned red fellow who lives under my bed and sounds like my mom.
Where's my bickies?
Get thee behind me! None of you know hell the way I know it. and that's a picture of what appears to be a shark eating a baby. My God, Bigfoot Mama 874, where are your children so troublesome you had to feed them to sea monsters? That is my baby wearing a costume, you doofus. If only that were true. Happily, this brings me to my first recommendation for protecting your children, a gas attack. We can see from this simple map the places where children tend to gather. If we launch a coordinated strike before they embark on their road to evil, we may lose their corporeal forms, but their souls will be intact. I shall be taking recommendations at this time of what manner of gas to use and how to deliver it. You're a monster, you suck, and who are you to judge me, old boy? NSA, standing I can only assume for Ninny Snake Association. Officers are en route to your location. Good, I hope they're bringing the gas. On to my second recommendation, buggering Satan. It's a little-known fact that the devil, being well over 5,000 years old, is rather behind the times when it comes to modern languages. Hence, his knowledge and spelling of slang in modern English is something of an Achilles heel for him. I shall demonstrate how to exploit this weakness by luring a lesser demon into my clutches. I suppose you believe in unicorns as well. Had you fought in the unicorn wars of 79 like a real man instead of cowering in the damp basement of your disbelief, you wouldn't be asking me such questions. Mute for you, you stupid blighter. Now, the first trick is to find a blog belonging to a lesser demon. Fortunately, they tend to be fairly obvious. Here we are, Astaroth Jr., who appears to be a fan of a lesser demon known as Bieber. Firstly, you type in the following phrase: I would sell my soul for a good bit of tea. Now, spelling here is crucial. Instead of soul, you spell it thusly, soul. Thus, it is in no way a thaumaturgically binding contract. Let's see if he takes the bait. Summon me, mortal, and behold my majesty. Blur. Good, we've got a dim one. Now, to summon a demon, many ignorant souls have sought out texts like the Necronomicon, Inverse Bible, and the like. Absolute poppycock. What you want is the Penguin edition of Bonfire of the Vanities by Thomas Wolfe, who, in addition to being one of the great authors of the 20th century, prince of the six concentric circle of hell. All you need to do is read from page 66, 6 line down. Now, before you read the lines, I suggest you arm yourself with a ruler. I like the feel of the old wooden variety myself, but in a pinch of plastic one will do. Next, conceal yourself and read. The thing had cost an astonishing amount of money.
Yeah, but your soul is mine, and I didn't know if you wanted English or herbal tea, so I brought both.
Naughty demon, no, bad, no soul, naughty, naughty, naughty. And that's how that's done. Now, on my next edition, that was a boglin. I had one as a kid. You suck. Had you ever considered that it is you who suck, Lick Me Hard Job 35, and that the boglin with which you toyed was in fact a demon, and that your soul collects dust in hell? Yes, I believe you should probably end it too now. Now, on my next edition...
Open up, this is the NSA.
The Ninny Snake Association.
That's not what it stands for.
I have a simple solution for this.
Open up or we use
I hereby
lethal
nominate
force.
myself as Supreme Overlord of the United States. Will anyone second this motion?
We will now
Thank
use
you,
lethal...
Colonel.
What? That was legally legit? Really? Oh,
Is there a problem, slave?
I guess not, Supreme Overlord, sorry.
No fuss, no muss, lads. You still suck. Lads, could you shoot someone called Big Dick Bigger Than Your Dick 35, please?
Sure, I guess.
And don't forget to bring the gas.
Oh, God, oh,
Thank you
God.
for your attendance this week, my subjects. Attendance next week is mandatory. Be sure to have your children congregate in prearranged areas this Halloween, or they may suffer unduly. All hail me. Jolly good. Good evening and welcome to the Colonel Alistair Winterbottom meeting for discussions of morality and social concern, Internet Edition, episode 20. It is our 20th episode, so we've scheduled a bacchanalian orgy of licentious sin to celebrate this great event. But first, hooray! Hurrah, 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 hooray, zip, zip. Thanksgiving is nearly upon us, that day when we give thanks to the local native population who so kindly succumbed to plague and genocide, allowing America to grow into a country where free men and women sit in dark basements and watch porn. However, few people understand nor enact the true traditions of Thanksgiving. This evening I shall correct your moral turpitude and instruct you in the proper celebration methodology of our great American holiday. You're not American, you're English, you gay. How fascinating, lick my own penis 77, and all this time I thought America started with an A. Though true, I was British, and I was at one time physically restricted to that chilly island tomb. Like any sensible person, however, I constructed my house on a flying carpet, and I'm now whatever I like, including Mongolian. Flying carpets are fake, you suck, and that demonstrable lack of imagination is why you shall live your entire life in a cold, damp hole. Mute for you, and may God have mercy on your soul. Now! The proper way to celebrate Thanksgiving is not gathered round the table with your family and loved ones. No, the proper Thanksgiving celebration is genocide. It started with it, and I feel it might as well end with it. There was no Indian genocide. The Europeans fought and worked for this land that we rule. Yes, you do rule, Euro Power Hooray 88. You rule because you killed anyone who claimed otherwise. Survival of the fittest, indeed. I couldn't agree more, which is why we shall now surrender the earth to the fittest, the bubonic plague. Bubonic plague, internet bubonic plague. And now, there we are. You now all have the plague. That's not how the plague spreads. Tell me, Mr. New York XXX13, feeling confident in that thought, are we? Or are we feeling perhaps a tad under the weather? An itchy sensation around the mouth and eyes, mayhaps? A tingling in the lower intestine? A sensation of looseness in the membranes? Oh God, my eyes are melting. I can't find my face. Oh God. Yes, that's what I thought. Now, the last great tradition of Thanksgiving that you all got wrong is the turkey. What few people seem to understand is that the turkey is one of the most horrifying perversions ever concocted by the devil. Yes, the devil. Or did you think it mere coincidence that the flesh dangling from a turkey's beak resembles a scarlet set of testicles? The devil is tricking you into smearing his own balls with gravy and swallowing them. You hairy batch of gullible perverts. Fortunately, I have an easy alternative to this hell bird, one that I can promise is readily available in all your homes this instant. The internet. Yes, the internet. A slow, dull-witted and very common bird, one easily caught by the most amateur hunter. How, you ask me? Observe. Now, the internet loves nothing more than this. I merely have to wave it in front of the screen a few moments and we shall have our prey. Oh good, we have its attention. Now the trick is not to strike too early, let it feel safe. Yes, that's it, lovely boobies, aren't they? Oh look, there's a hand stroking them. Oh my, so erotic and wonderful. Surely this is an opportune time for pleasure and debauchery, isn't it? Yes, closer, internet. Closer. Wretched beast, I have you now! And that's how it's done. Shortly we'll be broadcasting my comments on that nexus of evil known as Christmas. Until then, good luck surviving the plague. I find the best tactic is to exterminate your loved ones early so you needn't trouble yourself watching them go mad with pain. Good day. Excellent bandwidth.
Good evening and welcome to the Colonel Alistair Winterbottom meeting for discussions of morality and social concern, Internet Edition, episode Omega. We begin with an explanation. I've been busy this last little while and have little time for you charming troglodytes. Busy with what? The most notable of pursuits, a gentleman's wager. My good chum Otto von Bismarck, deceased, wagered me that I couldn't get a shaved murder ape with a dead cat stapled to its skull elected into office. Well, who's laughing now, Otto? Hell, it is I. Look at me laugh, it's lovely. Ha ha! And to the victor, the spoils. A delicious donut, Otto, thank you. You destroyed American democracy for a donut. A delicious donut! Ciao America 9001, the likes of which you liberal elites will never know. Now, as chairman, I motion we entitle today's meeting Yuletide Chernobyl Hurrah. Will anyone second this motion? Oh, look! It's Jolly St. Nicholas! Ho, 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 I'm Jolly St. Nick, and I second this motion and free salmon fudge for all. Thank you, St. Nick. I hope you all enjoyed that. Your hats is gay, gay boy, LOL. And you, Anal Man King 078, are the reason people begrudge the Geneva Convention. Now, the nexus of evil known as Christ Mass. So many of you have asked me, but Colonel, Christmas is a time of peace and family and love. How can you associate it with evil? Xmas cruel, you suck, Trump, Trump, Trump. True, Mega Masturbator 56, that was closer to the tenor of the objections I received, though I must advise you that is not how you spell strumpet. Check your dictionary. But honestly, my dubious friends, are you so simple-minded that you haven't noticed the monstrous trap into which all Christendom has fallen? Or did you really expect me to believe you didn't notice this was an absolutely amateurish anagram of this? For pity's sake, mankind, Lucifer barely exerted himself on this one. Why, you act as if you're unfamiliar with the niceties of demonic reproduction. Woot! Woot, I can only assume as some brain-damaged ponies attempt to spell what, or perhaps butt, or buttocks, or the Queen's buttocks, I can't be sure. In any case, demonic reproduction. To elucidate, I must first point out that Christ Mass is in fact another anagram, this one of critical mass. It doesn't match, there are letters missing, which were stolen by Satan. Yes, Christ Mass is in fact an attempt to achieve critical mass of Christ, or conversely, Satan. If there are sufficient Christs in the world explodes into goodness and free salmon fudge forever. But if there are too many Satans, we sink into the black mire of diabolic excrement. How does one get too many Satans? By unwrapping this. Innocent, you say? Simply a container of your game boxes or ball foots, you say? Wrong, for observe, what appears to be wrapping paper is in fact the embryonic membrane of a Satan baby. Yes, every time you open one of these incarnate prayers to materialism, you release another Satan baby into the world. The limitless pool of devil droppings approaches, heathens. But Colonel, you say, how may we avert this apocalypse of Christless Christ Mass? Or you say Satan sucks my balls trumped rules, how consistently I overestimate you all. And once again, it's Strumpet, S-T-R-U-M-P-E-T. Good lord, it's 2016, people. In my day, we knew how to spell strumpet before we were off our mother's teat. How to save yourself, my friends? Well, if I've said it before, I've said it a million times. Gas attack, gas attack, gas attack. Fortunately, the primary openers of Satan babies, or presents if you must, tend to gather in foolishly predictable patterns on Christmas morning. If we focus the attacks here and here, you say fight for good, but you say gas the innocent, you suck. Good gracious, John Paul's Ghost 777. Are you implying I'm some sort of sinner? Thou shalt not kill. Yes, I believe I've heard that said somewhere before. Though notably it does not say thou shalt not gas attack little boys and girls, does it? I mean, hell, I'm the most upstanding of all gentlemen I know. Surely I haven't sinned. For if I had, there'd be no escape. For his eyes are everywhere. Always watching, never missing a trick, my friends. Surely if I'd sinned, the vengeance would be swift and merciless. Bet you believe in disco-dancing unicorns, too. You again! I thought we'd seen the last of you in the Unicorn Wars, Dawkins say you love me 9563. Though perhaps you raise a point. Inadvertently, of course. But if the powers that be had intended to punish me, surely they would have done so by now. I mean, perhaps I overestimate them a tad. Their seek and destroy abilities must be somewhat limited. After all, it's Christ Mass, not Massive Christ. Massive Christ. Or the Disraeli? Are you playing that rock music again, Mother? Mother, rock is the devil's music! Oh, Christ! Oh, Christ! Massive Christ! Thank you to my patrons, with particular emphasis on Ben Schofield, Cara Pacifico, Dale Atwater, Eric Ives, Jeremy Fogelman, Mark, Meg McCormick, Ryan, and Tamia. May God have mercy on your souls.